everybody. Welcome to another Common Grounds Meet the Members. My name is Jo Stevens and I'm the coordinator of Common Grounds Women Business Network. Thanks so much for taking the time to check in and learn more about our amazing Common Ground members. Now, Common Ground provides coffee meetups for women in business to network and connect with like-minded women in business. Now, we have an amazing, diverse group of women, and one of the reasons why I started this blog chat was to help these incredible women spread the word on not only what they do, but why they do what they do. Now, today I'm joined by the amazing Kym. Hi, Kym. Welcome
Hi,
so
Joe.
much. Now, Kym, would you like to formally introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are and what your business name is?
Sure. So my name is Kim and I am a yoga teacher. And so I'm the founder and owner of Sparkling Soul Yoga. And I offer yoga classes to everyone.
So, wow. Okay. So, yoga, and is it a different? I know there's different types of forms of yoga. Is there a specific genre or something that you do with your yoga?
Yeah, so my yoga is more focused on yoga for health, so both physical and mental health, changing the narrative around yoga where you have to be a certain type of person, you have to wear certain clothes, all of those sort of things. That is nothing to do with what I do with regard to, or trying to create an inclusive and accessible environment for everyone to practice yoga because it's such a beautiful medium to make sure that we can keep our health and our well-being sort of as optimal as possible. So I have a degree in exercise physiology. And then on top of that, a couple of years ago, I fell into yoga teacher training because I've been practicing yoga for about 30 years
Yeah.
and loved it so much and just wanted to deepen my practice. And then I just found it such a transformative experience. And every time I jumped on the mat, I just went, oh, I feel so good afterwards. And I thought, you know what? I am going to take that training and then spread that out into the Brisbane community. I have a strong history, like my day job is in health administration. So I've worked in GP surgeries, in mental health hospitals, and working in physio practices, and now I'm in private practice in mental health. And just knowing that yoga can help
Mhm.
everyone who shows up on the mat. You don't have to have any flexibility, you don't have to have any strength, you just have to show up. And
Oh, I
so
love
and
that.
that is usually the hardest part for anything really, but especially yoga. So I want to change that narrative so people don't feel like, oh, what am I going to feel when I turn up to yoga? Oh my gosh, are they expecting me to do something? What's everyone going to look at? Blah, 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 blah,
Am I going to
blah.
be like standing on my head, or am I going to be doing these
Yeah,
strange
No, no, no.
positions?
There's none of that. There's none of that whatsoever. It's yoga for health.
Oh, I
And
love
that
that.
means that we move slowly, we move with our breath. Nothing is complicated. They're all just simple flows. And the people that come to my class, they range from everyone from 15, 16-year-olds all the way up to 85-year-olds.
Oh, I love that.
Some people have had strokes, they are incapacitated, like all of those things. And knowing that yoga can support you at any point in time within your life. Like I had a girlfriend just recently who was in palliative care, and we could still use yoga at the end of her life to bring some level of comfort and I guess peace. And that's what yoga does too. It's such an incredible medium for helping, especially women in business, with not only building a community around each other that are like-minded, but also it just helps you cope with stress.
Absolutely. It's really having that downtime, isn't it? I
Yeah.
think like I've gone to yoga, and I actually am a qigong instructor myself. I
Ah,
don't do it as much now, but I did that for my own mental health. And one of the reasons
yeah.
like it was lovely that you're talking about that was because I struggled with Pilates and some yoga because I'm definitely not flexible. And I love that when you're talking about that breath work and that anyone can do it because I knew I needed that calmness and that time to focus on my body and the breath work and, and the slow movements. And I think that that's, as you were saying before, like that with the mental health, using that and using your body and being able to slow down is so important. And sounds like a bit like that's what your kind of programs are about, like helping people to really learn to slow down. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly right. And taking time out for themselves and then having that, it's almost like an instant gratification. Like, so no, so with the time that I've spent in mental health, which has been over a
Mm,
decade, knowing that, medications, therapy, all those sort of things take such a long time or, for the effects to happen, and there's a lot of effort involved. Literally, yoga used as an adjunct to all the other things that you need to do to
absolutely.
support your mental health. We can all work together as a collective, and this can be used at any time. Like literally, if you're not having a great day, get down on the floor and in child's pose, take a breath, and you're there. Or even we could sit here now and take a breath, close our eyes if that feels okay, or even just notice the parts of our body that are touching the chair right now. Like it's just so accessible, and you don't need to have any equipment with you, and you can do it anywhere, and that's what I try to make sure that is on offer. I have a YouTube channel. I offer different programs and everything else for people as well, so that you don't have to be financially secure. You don't have to be in any location in particular. I make sure that there are all these avenues for people, because if you want to practice yoga, I can help you do that.
Absolutely. And I love that because, when you were talking about, that you don't need to like, like have the mat be there in the moment and like about the mental health because our mental health is a journey. I feel like it's a journey. And even, I was talking like this to another friend actually. I'd been through counseling, I've done all of those things, but yoga and breath work and all of these things are actually a tool for our mental health. And once like we need all these other things that are out there to support us. But once we are a little bit more mentally strong, we got to keep going back to these tools to keep ourselves mentally strong. And that's where like what you offer is really for people to understand that it's a definite tool that you need in your life to keep yourself, even when you're feeling like the world is going amazingly, there's sometimes something will happen and you just need those little curveball happen. You need to come back to what tools work for you. And that sounds exactly like what you're offering people.
Well, exactly right. And yoga is also this incredible preventative tool medicine,
Yeah.
like preventative health. We're
Mm.
using it to make sure that we can run around with the grandchildren when we get older, that we can walk up the stairs with our groceries, that we can participate in life and feel good. And that's what yoga brings you back to. Yoga brings you back to yourself if you've lost yourself, if you've got distracted with social media, with pressures, with life, with all of that noise and all of those expectations. It really brings you back to the present moment, and it helps you understand that. And when you forget, which it happens, which is why I practice every day, that it offers that almost like a sanctuary in some ways.
Yeah.
This place where you can come back to yourself at any point in time, at any stage, and whatever you're feeling in that moment. And that's why I think it's so beautiful.
I love that. Now you talked a little bit about that you have like a whole range of ages, but
Mm.
like is there, a particular audience like, that you find that you're attracting? I mean, I'm guessing probably like women, we can't like that. We are much better at that kind of that self-awareness, self-care. But,
Yeah.
who is your audience like, generally that comes along to your events?
Generally, people that like to be like me to help them support their physical and mental well-being. They don't have to have any experience a lot of the time. Majority of my community classes, so I teach outdoor classes in Hawthorne at a park, which is really nice. So we're outside, we get to feel the breeze, we can be distracted by the boats if we want, all of those sort of things. And that is just community, and it's probably, between 40 and 60 years old. They're small classes, maximum of 10 people. They go for 45 minutes, and they're really just about anyone who endeavors to turn up will be supported at that stage on the mat.
Oh my goodness. And you were saying, so you're located in Hawthorne, is that correct? So a lot of the majority of your classes are there. But I know that you have a retreat coming up, and we were just talking about that before. That's actually out near Sanford, which is actually not that far from me. So do you do these kinds of retreats often, or is it just every now and again?
I do. So this is my first retreat for the year for 2026. So it's very exciting. So it's release, reflect, and renew. So taking a moment to stop and set intentions for 2026, which is a really nice thing to do. I have a sound healer coming,
Mm,
and we've got beautiful catering and everything else. So just escaping the city for the day, traveling out to the Sanford Valley and really immersing ourselves in all forms of yoga. There'll be pranayama, which is, breath work, meditation, a beautiful restorative yoga practice. So that's an
wow.
incredible offering. And then I also run master classes as well, based on stress and overwhelm. That's really my wheelhouse that I love to help support people with, because it's such a, all-encompassing chronic condition that is really affecting the majority of people right now. And so
Absolutely.
offering them yoga to help support them through that in every facet of their life makes it so incredible and such a important tool for people to have, like you said, in their wheelhouse so that you can return to it at any point in time.
Absolutely.
And
And I think
then,
it's so important, isn't it? Like, but we touched base on it, but I think it is so
yeah.
important to have, I like call them my, little toolkit out there. Like, when you're starting to feel yourself that, a little bit anxious or overwhelmed, or, life just, you go, okay, I need to go back to what I know works. And if, that this is one of those tools. I've done it before, I know it works. Let me get back into that and doing that. So I love that you offer that. So what is it like? Obviously, so passionate about your business. I can hear it in your voice, and you've talked a little bit how you went down that road of like how you got into the business. So but why did you actually want to to start it and to grow it into being, more about that, that mental health? Was it a journey for yourself, or is it just the journey like being in the scenarios that you've been with, like, working in mental health?
Yeah, it's just the scenarios that I've been in. I am incredibly fortunate that I am a person that doesn't maybe suffer or feel like she suffers from stress or mental health conditions. Maybe that's the yoga. Maybe that's
It
just my
probably is.
gratitude for life. A few other things go into that, sleep,
Yeah.
diet, movement, detoxing from media and all of those sort of things. But I have worked in mental health for over 10 years. I facilitated the administration of a mental health hospital, and I was able to teach yoga to the patients morning and afternoon.
Oh, wow.
And that being part of their journey and being part of someone's wellness journey, which is such an um, incredible opportunity and humbling experience to
Mm,
be there to see them at the worst when you admit them at the worst time in their life for the majority of people. And if they make the effort to turn up to yoga and they have a consistent practice, and a lot of them were there for 3 to 4 weeks. And so we would practice morning and afternoon. The transformation, the coming
yeah.
back to themselves, because mental health sort of disconnects us from our bodies. And when that happens, we tend to not make choices that are the best for our
Yeah.
bodies. So things like sleep, diet, exercise. And so when we are more connected with our bodies, we're able to listen to our bodies and understand that the things that we're hearing are actually the right things rather than may not be like immediate sort of gratification things. And so when you can feel yourself on the ground, when you can start to trust your body and build up that trust again, seeing people change
Yeah.
things that they do, that is why I do what I do, because I know that it supports people and it is an offering that once again doesn't come down to, I guess, financial location, any of those sort of things. I'm a big believer in changing the social determinants of health, and I believe that I can do that through yoga. And
Yeah,
so yoga, making yoga accessible to everyone and knowing that it changes people's lives for the better is, something that I couldn't not give.
absolutely. I love that. And I think, there's always like, you can find sometimes like people think, oh, it's all woo-woo. Let's just,
Yeah.
and then I love, I think those people, like, that's fine. We're all very, very different. But then when you're realizing it's just really allowing ourselves just to slow down, be in the moment, be present,
Yeah.
that's that's the key of slow, like, when we're talking about like those tools for mental health, the overwhelm, the, anxiety and all of that. It's just a buildup of because of not allowing ourselves to actually be in the moment. So, and that's exactly what you're offering for people to do. So I love that. That's just so beautiful. So,
Yeah, and it's reminding them exactly right to be in the present moment. We can't change what's happened. Fantasizing about the future won't also, in the majority of cases, change that either. Staying present, being within yourself, and then also growing that self-acceptance, that self-compassion.
yeah,
And
self-worth,
also
absolutely.
it's a kind way to practice. There's so much out there in the world that's like, you have to do this, you have to do that. There's all these 8-week challenges out there and all of those sort of things. I just literally have an offering. If you would like to show up, I will be here. But like, I would love to drag you to a yoga class with me because I know that it will make you feel good. But I can't do that. If I could, I would, but I can't. So
Absolutely.
I will be here when you're ready to show up.
I love
And
that. Well, that is just so beautiful. I love that, and and that's it. Sounds like your personality. From my own heart, I'm always all about connecting women, and it's not, that's why with Common Grounds, like our coffee meetups, I'm always make them free. They're actually free to come along, and it's because I know there's women in business who are on their own a lot of the time, and they're needing that connection. And that is, and like what you were saying about, like, with your yoga classes is about that connection and bring, being that time with other people as well, but with yourself. So because I think that, that's, we all need that time of like that downtime. And sounds like we've kind of in different ways of creating that for people. So
yeah, definitely.
well, can I ask, thank you so much for this chat. I've actually really, really loved it. But Kym, would there be something that you would like, say one piece of advice you would offer anybody who's listening that, that maybe you live by or that you want to share with everybody?
Look, probably my biggest takeaway would be, or my biggest part of piece of advice would be that small, consistent habits done daily, every second day, when you can remember, they create lasting change. So it's no point, well, as far as I'm concerned, New Year's resolutions, all of these other things that are all these quick fixes, if we just do small little things on a more consistent basis, then that will then take you through the rest of your life. If it's getting up, that's what we do. We brush our teeth every single day. That keeps our teeth healthy for the majority of the time. If we eat well, if we make little choices, they don't have to be massive changes. If you jump onto your yoga mat, it doesn't have to be a 60-minute class every single day. It can be 5 minutes. That's all it has to be. Make yourself a cup of tea, massage your face. There are 1,000 things that I could suggest, to do, but just choose one,
Yeah,
do it
start somewhere.
consistently,
Absolutely.
and then you will see a change. And be kind to yourself. Don't judge yourself against anyone else. Just stay true to you and, remember or try and remember who you are because you are the person and you're the vessel that you need to live in. So be kind
Oh, I
to
love
yourself
that. That
first.
is beautiful. Thank you so much for this chat today, Kim. I really loved it and enjoyed it. I hope everybody else enjoys it as well. Now, so I will make sure that I share all your social media, but I just was like, are you on Instagram? So you were saying Instagram, Facebook, is that
Yeah.
where people can find you?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on YouTube. So
Oh,
I upload YouTube videos every week, just small, accessible practices, short ones that anyone can do in the comfort of their home because sometimes, people can't leave their home for whatever reasons.
yeah.
And it just means that yoga is easy to find whenever you
That.
need it. Yeah.
We'll make sure that we share that. And look, I truly appreciate your time today. And I hope that everybody else enjoyed this chat with Kim as much as I have today. So thank you so much for joining me, Kim.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Common Grounds.
Thanks, everybody. Talk to you all soon.
Bye.